In this article, that is today's lecture, we are going to learn the types of semiconductor. There are two types of semiconductor. One is intrinsic semiconductor, and this intrinsic semiconductor, it is a pure semiconductor. Means there is no any type of impurity. Only silicon or germanium crystals will be there, and these two intrinsic semiconductor are silicon and germanium. There is no any other doping, there is no any other impurity inside the semiconductor, and that's why it is called as a intrinsic semiconductor. Next, here it is the structure of a pure semiconductor, that is intrinsic semiconductor. We know silicon or germanium, these atoms, they are having 4 electrons in their outermost orbit, and these atoms, they are going to form a covalent bond between them. By forming a covalent pairing or bonding, a crystal that can be designed or it can be constructed or it is made. And this way here, all the crystals, they are of the silicon. Or you can replace this by germanium. There is no any other impurity. Inside this. Now, if the electric potential it is applied across this pure semiconductor or intrinsic semiconductor, that is positive and negative terminal of the battery, they are connected. What happens? Before this, I would like to tell you, at absolute zero temperature, this intrinsic semiconductor, it is a purely non-conducting. It do not conduct. And this property, it is very important for us. We can make this intrinsic semiconductor to conduct by addition of some impurity that we are going to learn in a second article. Here, at room temperature, even though there is no electric field or electric current provided to it, the electrons from this covalent band, see here, these covalent bonds are going to break. When this covalent bond is going to break, that time there is a space, empty space, and these electrons, they are flowing towards the positive terminal of the battery. At the same time, these vacancies are created. In earlier lecture also I have told you, the vacancies are created, and these vacancies, they bears the charge equal to positive charge, or this is called as a deficiency. Now, these deficiencies, they are having positive charge, they will be get attracted towards negative terminal, and this way electrons will flow through the positive terminal, and the holes will flow to the negative terminal, and hence in a semiconductor there is a current because of electrons and holes. But in intrinsic semiconductor, the concentration of electron is equal to concentration of hole, because hole is generated due to migration of electron from this covalent bonding. In this, all the silicon atoms, they are going to share their electrons with other atoms by forming a bond between them, that is covalent bond. In covalent bond, each atom contributes its 1 electron, and neighboring atom contributes its 1 electron, and therefore the the requirement of that element or requirement of that atom, it is fulfilled. That is, see here, look at this. If one electron is given by silicon over here, if one electron is given by this silicon, one electron is given by this silicon, one electron is given by this electron, one electron is given by this silicon, one electron is from this silicon, one electron from this silicon, one electron from this silicon, the total 8 electrons are going to contribute. And therefore, the requirement of the silicon atom, it is fulfilled and it becomes electrically neutral. But what happens when the electric potential is given or applied or the heat is given? That time these electrons, they receive the energy and they jumps from this covalent bond, or we can say that this covalent bond is going to break. As the covalent bond is broken, the hole is created or deficiency is created. Then when this electric current is applied, the electrons are getting attracted towards the positive terminal and holes are getting attracted to the negative terminal. There is a flow of electron. There is a flow of electron as well as there is a flow of hole. Of course, what happens? It is very interesting fact that when this electron is jumping, that time hole is created. Again, one electron it is jumping over here, it occupies the hole is created, and this way the electrons are jumping towards this, the holes are created towards the right. In intrinsic semiconductor, it is very important to note the concentration of electron, it is equal to concentration of hole, and therefore there is the current due to electron is equal to current due to hole. Already I have told you, in semiconductor the current flows because of electrons and holes. Because of electrons and holes. Now, the another type, extrinsic semiconductor. Mind well, the electrical conductivity of this intrinsic semiconductor is very less, which is not beneficial for us. And to improve the electrical conductivity, we have to add some foreign element or some impurity inside the intrinsic semiconductor, and therefore it becomes the extrinsic semiconductor. What is extrinsic semiconductor? A semiconductor in which some impurity it is added. Some impurity it is added. Mind well, when we add the impurity as per our requirement, this impurity it is added in ppm, that is parts per million. Means in 1 million of silicon atoms or 1 million of germanium atom, 1 atom of foreign impurity it is added, and addition of this impurity it is called as a doping. Addition of this impurity it is called as a doping. Now, depending upon this doping, this extrinsic semiconductor it is classified into two parts, N type and P type. N type and P type. Mind well, this N type of semiconductor that can be obtained by addition of pentavalent impurity inside this pure structure. Now here, suppose this silicon it is replaced by the phosphorus, arsenic or antimony. These are pentavalent elements. They are situated in the 5th group of periodic table. Suppose the arsenic it is doped here. So what happens? This arsenic is having the 5 electrons. Arsenic is having 5 electrons. in its outermost orbit. Out of that, 4 electrons will be get contributed with the neighboring silicon atom, and there will be an extra electron. This electron, it is having negative charge, and therefore it is called as a N type of semiconductor. It is called as a N type of semiconductor, and the current due to this, or current due to this electron, it flows. Now what happens? In addition to this, because of thermal imbalance or thermal heating, the electron, it is removed over here and the hole is created. The holes are created. And therefore, there is a flow of electron as well as a hole. Now, how this electron and holes they are going to flow, that we will see later on. But here, let me show you. This is extrinsic semiconductor. Pentavalent doping it is performed. Pentavalent doping it is what? The elements having 5 valencies. Now, in this case, the number of concentration of electron it is greater than number of concentration of the hole. The majority charge carriers are electron, minority charge carriers are hole, and it is the impurity it is called as a donor impurity. As well as instead of doping pentavalent impurity, we can add the trivalent impurity in this by addition of indium, gallium, boron or aluminium. Then the holes are created. There is a deficiency over here. There is a deficiency over here. There are deficiencies because this indium it contributes only 3 electrons which are available with it to the neighboring silicon atoms, and therefore there is a creation of deficiency over here. The deficiencies are created. This deficiency it is called as hole. Now what happens? The electron from other it jumps and comes to over here. Electron from this bonding it jumps and comes over here. Electron from this bonding and jumps over here, and there is a production of holes. There is a production of holes. It means that when a trivalent doping it is performed in a pure silicon or pure germanium like indium, gallium, boron, then there is a production of number of holes. The majority of holes is greater than majority of electron, and therefore we can write the concentration of holes is greater than concentration of electron, and the majority charge carriers are holes. It means current due to the holes is greater than current due to the electron. Minority charge carriers are electron. Next, it is called as acceptor impurity. This element or this crystal, when trivalent impurity it is doped, that time it tries to accept the electron, and therefore it is called as a acceptor impurity. Next is charge neutrality. Semiconductors are electrically neutral. It is very important fact that even if we have added the trivalent impurity or pentavalent impurity, when pentavalent impurity it is added, that time it is a N-type semiconductor, and when trivalent impurity it is added, that is it is a P-type semiconductor. Even though P-type semiconductor or N-type semiconductor it is formed, these semiconductors are electrically neutral. because we have to add the impurity. We have to add the impurity such a way that it will not disturb the original structure of the semiconductor. It will not disturb the original structure of the semiconductor. This care is to be taken. Next, here number of electrons is equal to number of holes. Even though in n-type semiconductor there is a presence of extra electron, but this extra electron, it is from the impurity. It is from the impurity, and therefore for a silicon the impurity balance is there, or we can say that number of electrons is equal to number of holes. Just like an atom, inside the atom there are protons, there are electrons. Number of protons is equal to number of electrons, and therefore atom is electrically neutral. And this way the intrinsic semiconductor, the extrinsic semiconductor, or in case n-type semiconductor and p-type semiconductor, all these are electrically neutral. Next is p-n junction. We are saying there is a formation of p-type semiconductor, there is a formation of n-type semiconductor. When these two semiconductors are generated, or these two semiconductors are brought very close to each other purposely, actually, in practical process, both the p-type and n-type semiconductor, they are created on the same base, that is either silicon or germanium. Now when these two junctions, that is p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductor, are formed on the same substrate or on a same base, that time there is a certain gap between them. There is a certain gap between them, and this gap, it is in micron, right from 0.01 micron to 0.05 micron. This gap, it is to be kept. Now next is diffusion. When these two p-type and n-type semiconductors, they are constructed on a same substrate or on a same base, what happens? The negative charges from n-type semiconductor goes in a p region, and positive charges from p-type semiconductor goes in n region. Now when they are going from n region to p region or p region to n region, they are forming ions. It means that when n-type semiconductor, the electrons are traveling from n-type semiconductor to the p-type semiconductor, the negative ions are formed. The negative ions are formed, and when p-type, the holes are transferring to the n-type semiconductor, that time positive ions are formed, and this process, it is also known as segregation. It is also known as a segregation. It is also called as a diffusion. It is also called as a diffusion. Next is depletion region. Now, what happens? All the electrons, they do not go in p-type. All the holes, they do not go in n-type. Some or few of the electrons go in p-type, and few of the holes goes in n-type, and they are forming a region. Now, the other charges, that is negative charges or positive charges, or electrons or holes, they are not allowed to pass this region, and therefore this region, it is called as a depletion region. Next, here in this depletion region, in this depletion region, there are positive ions and there are negative ions. Because of this positive and negative ions, there is a difference between the potential, or this potential, it is called as a barrier potential. This potential, it is called as a barrier potential. Now, for the silicon, For the silicon, this barrier potential is about 0.7 volt, and for germanium it is 0.3 volt. For silicon it is 0.7 volt, and for germanium it is 0.3 volt. Next is biasing. The process of applying the external EMF or external source of EMF or the battery, it is called as a biasing. It is called as a biasing. Now this is p-type semiconductor, this is n-type semiconductor, and they are connected like this. Means there is no battery between these two, and this is called as a zero biasing, or it is also called as unbiasing. Or this diode, it is called as a unbiased diode. Next, here, when positive terminal of the battery is connected to p-type semiconductor and negative terminal is connected to n-type semiconductor, then it is called as a forward biasing or forward biased diode. Now what happens? Here it is the positive potential, it is the negative potential. Because of this positive potential, the electrons flows to the p-type semiconductor by crossing this depletion region. By crossing this depletion region. Next, as negative terminal it is connected to n-type semiconductor, the holes are getting attracted towards the negative potential, and therefore the hole flows to the n-type semiconductor by crossing this depletion region, and that's why the width of depletion region, it becomes zero. For an ideal diode it becomes very less, or the width of this depletion region decreases. This results in decreasing the resistance of the diode. This results in decreasing the resistance of diode. Now when the resistance of the diode is decreased, the number of holes and number of electrons they crosses this depletion region, and the current flows because of holes and electron, and this current flows in a unidirection, and that's why this PN junction diode, it is also called as a unidirectional current flow. As the resistance of the depletion region becomes zero, or it becomes very less, then the diode becomes in active mode. It conducts with a very large current. It conducts with a very large current. Current in the forward bias diode that flows in milliampere. That flows in milliampere, and that's why the diode in a forward bias is said to be as a closed switch. On the other hand, here this is the reverse biasing. Here it is the reverse biasing. Now what is done? The negative terminal is connected to p-type semiconductor, and positive terminal it is connected to n-type semiconductor. What happens? The flow of electron and holes, it is in opposite direction than the forward biasing, and that's why the depletion region, the width of depletion region increases. As the width of depletion region increases, the resistance of the depletion region also increases. As the resistance is more, it opposes to the flow of electrons and holes. The current flows through the reverse bias diode, it is nearly equal to zero. The current flows in microampere. Current flows in a microampere, means 1000 times less than forward bias. Next, this current that flows because of change in temperature. When we apply the biasing, if this biasing is more, this biasing gives it produces the heat, and because of heat, as the temperature increases, many of the covalent bonds are broken out and the current flows. What is that? It is called as a reverse bias current. Now, this is the electrical symbol for PN junction diode. this is a p-type semiconductor, this is n-type semiconductor, and this arrow shows there is a flow of current from p-type to the n-type, that is anode to cathode. Anode to cathode. And in this diode or in a p-n junction diode, only the current flows from p-type semiconductor to the n-type semiconductor, or we can say that only unidirectional current flows through the p-n junction diode. Symbolically, the electrical circuits are shown here. See here, this is p-type semiconductor, this is n-type semiconductor. Positive terminal it is connected to p-type, negative terminal it is connected to n-type, and therefore the current is flowing in this direction in this circuit. As positive terminal of the battery is connected to p-type semiconductor, negative terminal it is connected to n-type semiconductor. This arrangement of connecting the diode in circuit, it is called as a forward bias. Here, the current, the forward voltage is increased in the state, corresponding current it is noted down, and when we plot a graph between these two, that is a forward for the forward bias diode, see here, the current is almost zero up to certain value. And already I have told you, for germanium, this barrier potential is 0.3 volt, and for silicon it is 0.7 volt. Remember well, unless and until this forward bias current reaches, or forward bias potential reaches up to 0.7 volt, this diode do not conduct, and it is called as a cut-off mode of the diode. It is called as the cut-off mode of the diode. Now, here this graph shows up to this 0.7 volt diode, it is in cut-off mode, it is not conducting, and after that it starts conducting. It means that this diode, it is of silicon. It is of silicon. Next, here this is the reverse bias. Now here this p-n junction diode, it is connected in reverse bias, and when we plot the voltage against current graph, then you will find that almost no current flows up to certain value, and there is a suddenly breakdown, or the current increases suddenly. Why this current increases suddenly, that I will tell you later on. But here, this is called as a reverse breakdown. This is called as a reverse breakdown. What happens? When diode it is connected in reverse bias, that time there is the current through the diode, it is almost equal to 0. But what happens? As we increase the potential across the diode, due to that, heating of diode takes place. Heating of diode takes place, and due to heat, the bonding between the silicon atom goes on breaking, and therefore the current flows, a large current flows, or current flows suddenly. This is called as a breakdown voltage. The capacity of that diode is broken out. Next, when the temperature reaches up to certain value, that time many of the electrons, they jumps from the covalent bond and they start flowing here and there. This is called as avalanche. This is called as a avalanche. Here I have shown, this is the current, this is the voltage, this is the forward bias voltage for same diode, this is the reverse bias voltage for the same diode. Now here this current increases, here current decreases, here current is going to increase negatively. And due to limit of heat, as it crosses the certain value of voltage due to heat, the electron, most of the electrons that flow, and because of that most of the electron, they are flowing randomly here and there, and this is called as avalanche, or it is called as avalanche breakdown. Next, static resistance, that is DC resistance. Mind well, when this current increases with voltage linearly with a constant slope, that time it is called as a static resistance. Or if we calculate the resistance at a single point in this region, it is what? It is a static resistance, and the static resistance, it is given by the Rg equal to V by R. The ratio of voltage to the corresponding current at a point, it is what? It is a static resistance. Next is dynamic resistance, or it is also called as a AC resistance. Now, what happens? In this region, slowly when the voltage is increased, the current also increases. It is not linear increase, it is exponential increase. It is exponential increase. Next thing, this is what? This is a dynamic resistance, or the increase in current because of linear voltage. It is not linear. It has its own special characteristics. In this case, if we find the slope, the reciprocal of the slope, that is delta V upon delta I, it is what? It is AC resistance, or we can say that in the ripple, there are ripple, and in the ripple, the AC component is there, and this AC component, it is nothing but it is half of the sine wave. Next, here this graph increases, or this graph is going to bend by one side. It is not going to bend by both the sides. This voltage, or voltage corresponding to this change, it is called as a knee voltage. Our knee, it bends in one side, not on both sides, and therefore the voltage corresponding according to this bend, it is called as a knee voltage. And this way we have seen many of the things regarding diode.